I saw your movie back at Sundance.
Oh, okay.
Back in January, and I love the movie, but the movie spoke to me because I grew up on the shit that you were kind of riffing on through the whole thing, which is Rudy Ray Moore's movies, Human Tornado, and one that people don't even remember that much, Disco Godfather.
Man, I heard your interview, the one you did on Spill, when you were there.
You wait a minute, you heard the one that I did?
Yeah. I heard the one on Spill. That's you.
That is me. You're like, nigga, get out of here now.
No, I heard it. No, it was good. I enjoyed it.
No, well, thank you, man. Well, at least you didn't throw the microphone back at me and tell me to leave, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's
cool.
I
really appreciate the movie, man, because I was thinking, like, something. One of the ways to do a parody is to not just throw in all these references to pop culture and whatnot, but try to either play it straight or mimic what you have, the thing that you're spoofing, and that's what you do with this. When I first saw the trailer, and I said, that brother looks like Michael J. White, but this is a movie I hadn't seen from the 70s before. What is this? And then I learned that it's a recent movie that you had done, and I'm like, no, this is what I'm talking about here. Mm-hmm. And I just appreciated the film for that. I guess my question is, to what lengths did you have to go to get that look? I mean, did you have to process the film any kind of way, or is it all just the sets that you had?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's just, I mean, once that's like your intention, then everybody is trying to do what they're trying to do.
And by the way, you are the director. I didn't introduce
you. Oh,
yeah.
My name's Scott Sanders. I'm the director of Black Dynamite.
Thank you. All
right. I think, it was in Mike's head, like he knew what he was set out to do and did it, and like people, Ruth Carter, who's our costume designer, is a fantastic costume designer. You know what I mean? Like people just like the assignment was we're going to make a movie like a blaxploitation movie, not like a movie that's riffing on something, that's riffing on something, that's riffing on something that's like a blaxploitation movie.
Yes.
We want to make a movie set in the 70s that was like a blaxploitation movie that remind us of our favorite movies from blaxploitation movies. So that's when that becomes the assignment. Then like if you have good people, and we were very fortunate to have good people all around, that's what they did. They came up with things. Like I mean, people would come up with things outside of what their job was. I mean, one thing that like our production designer Denise Pizzini said, you know what? I saw a movie where people were carrying a stack of eggs just so they could break, but they didn't want to break glass,
And see, that's from Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law.
Oh, okay. That's what she saw. So we were like, well, that's something we could do.
Yeah. That's what I liked. I was like, not only did you really make a blaxploitation film, or what felt like an authentic blaxploitation film, but you also had a knowledge of the films that they came from. Man, you really are too quiet back there. You scaring me because he's just looking. He's like, it's almost like you just waiting for me to say something wrong because y'all don't see him. This brother's big over here.
Oh, no. I just have that look, man. I could be thinking about my favorite yogurt, and I just look mean. This is the eyebrow thing.
That's scary too if you're looking at me and thinking about your favorite yogurt. So either way it goes, it's frightening. But I really have to say, man, I enjoyed your performance in the movie. And like I said, it was only kind of after I heard you speak that I recognized that it was you. But for a moment, with everything that you had on, you were kind of recognizable, and I like that.
Yeah, me too. I like when I had friends that first saw clips of the movie and didn't know it was me. I had people send me the trailer saying, "Mike, you got to check this out," not knowing it was me.
Really?
Yeah, which was that was great for me.
Yeah, well, you played that role well, man. I mean, it's something like I think in less experienced hands, you would have. The kind of character you were playing just would have been a straight up send off of Richard Roundtree and Shaft, but you were able to like embody a character like that, but make it your own kind of character too. And one of the things I like about what you did with it, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You made an authentic blaxploitation film, but in the tradition of great spoofs like Airplane, you played it straight. I mean, you weren't playing this for laughs.
Well, yeah. Well, we were trying to do it just like a blaxploitation movie, and that's the whole thing, is that they were dead serious. Even though there'd be these absurd storylines, like what do you call it? Three the Hard Way was about this evil Dr. Feather who created this serum that only killed black people, and he was going to, spill a liter of it in the water systems of L.A., New York, and Chicago, and it was going to wipe out just the black people. And they were dead serious. And you look at it now, it's hilarious. It's hilarious to think that a premise of a movie like that would stand up.
Yeah. And what did you do before you made this? Because I never heard of any movies you had done before.
We did a movie 10 years ago that was at Sundance called Thick as Thieves.
Okay, and so what kind of film was that?
It was a sort of crime genre sort of thing with Alec Baldwin, and it was Alec Baldwin versus Mike's character was named Pointy Williams, and that's where we met.
Okay,
it was also it was a dark comedy.
Yeah,
and that was also a dark comedy.
Yeah, just at Sundance,
and that played at Sundance also. So
yeah, in '99 we were there. Yep.
Okay.
He's like, shit, that was a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
You made the movie. You tell me.
Yeah, he was in it. Well, he was there with me.
So, now you seem to have success. I mean, with the movies that you make, both of them have shown in Sundance. This one seems to be really gaining some ground. And so,
what'd I do with that lost 10 years in between?
Don't think I wasn't gonna say that, but I was like, shit, it took him a long time to make a goddamn movie, man. But no, it's
a 10-year plan. We're gonna make one in 2009.
Well, I mean,
wait, it is 2009.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, to his credit, see, Scott is, he's got discriminating taste. He doesn't just do anything. There's major movies that he's been offered to direct, but he just could not sell out.
It's all shitty career plan.
No, I mean, which is something that I really admire, and one of the reasons I wanted to work with him again, and one of the reasons why when Scott was passionate about this, I knew we were going to hit a home run. I felt like, he's very much like me. There's a lot of things I pass up. And one thing, you got to look at yourself for the rest of your life. You got to look at yourself. You can't hide from who you are. And, neither one of us want to be a part of something that we can't do our best at and actually, feel like we can really apply our entire wits to. So this is something it's more than a job for us. And
I'm going to say that, Integrity. I mean, you seem like the kind of guy, you're not going to make something just to make it. Even though I imagine like you do this for a living, so has there?
I'm trying to. Yeah.
Well, you say you're trying to.
No, I am. I'm doing it. I guess. Yeah, I'm doing it for a living. Yeah.
Well, okay. No, that's curious. To me, like, did you make so much money off of Thick as Thieves that you could just sit back for a while and just kind of not?
No, I mean, like I think what happens, you do little things here and there. Like I was writing some, Hollywood has a lot of people who do things that never get made, that becomes your job. But I didn't want to direct something I wasn't passionate about. But I wrote scripts for studios and I did, some commercials and stuff and just kind of, got by doing other stuff. Okay, so you weren't
working at the IRA or anything like that?
No, nothing like that. But, you just do things working in Hollywood, getting by,
Yeah.
I just, it's just, directing a movie is like marrying somebody. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, I mean, we started talking about this movie. I mean, Mike, came up with the idea in 2000. It was 2006. We've been doing this for 3 years.
So this is your idea to do this.
Yeah. And we've been coming up, we've been doing this for, we're 3 years later, doing interviews. It's at Comic-Con. We're going to go to France. We're going to go to, all these other places. So it is like a marriage. It lasts longer than a lot of marriages in Hollywood,
Isn't that crazy, man, that like something like this, which seems like it would only appeal to a certain part of American culture and mainly black culture. I mean, and for older people too, that this would like resonate with people around the world.
Well, see, I never thought of it like that. I mean, but as a performer, as a person, I don't pigeonhole myself as even a black actor. I consider myself as an actor with a global, a possibility of of global success. I mean, I don't really just look at it as a black thing, nor did I write it as something as just a black film. And I think the proof is in the response. And it's been by and large. I mean, it's won the biggest film festival in the country, which really had very few black people there. It's really about the filmmaking. You know, it's like we kind of did a homage to a particular type of film that happened to be within the blaxploitation genre, and I feel like, you know, even if you have movies like Austin Powers, you didn't have to grow up knowing about Our Man Flint and that type of movie, those movies of the 60s, to actually kind of get with the whole premise. But because no matter what, just like, you know, look at the cartoons. We grow up with Bugs Bunny. Mm-hmm. We don't know that he's imitating Edward G. Robinson, you know, but adults do. And, you know, things are just multi-layered that way. So we really crafted this for a universal audience, even though it's set in, you know, the tendency is to, some folks might think that it's just for black folks, and it's absolutely not just for black folks. It just happens to be the hue that a number of people happen to have.
Yeah. It still look kind of weird though. Like we had the movie in the Czech Republic. I just got back from there, and it was our biggest screening. Like, we had, you know, the screening held 1,200 people, and like they brought 100 people in to sit in the aisles, and there were like 400 people waiting to get in. Like, you know, in the middle of the Czech Republic, and like, you know, I mean, while our intention obviously was it being universal, it's still weird to watch it. You know, like when they're like typing in the Czech translation, I mean, like a lot of stuff doesn't even translate. Like, I'm like,
you know, one thing that's funny. I mean, the blaxploitation movies. I mean, I don't know many white guys that are over 35 that haven't grown up with these movies as well. I mean, people have seen Shaft, and people have seen those type of movies, and it's like, it's just about being a badass. And sometimes you want to vicariously live through a guy who has this cool swagger.
That's a good point. There's certain themes that are just universal. I mean, the badass hero, like you said, that's something that's universal. And I mean, you don't need to know about the culture to see that. But
well, that's the thing, the crazy thing. But that's the crazy thing about the Czech Republic, because they didn't allow all those movies. None of them have seen any blaxploitation movie, and they went crazy over it. Like that was strange to me, because it's like they had no reference point whatsoever. So there's something, you know, that is universal about the movie that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that you don't have to have any, you don't have to speak the language or have any, like, even pre-knowledge. Like, they're asking me, well, name me some blaxploitation movies. Because they didn't have them in, you know, communist, you know.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I understand.
It's the very reason why they worked in the first place. There's the very reason why the blaxploitation genre saved Hollywood. Because it was a swagger about them, and it was a soul and a heart, and about a movement that really was alive. You know, so
I think that's the big thing.
Yeah,
is the swagger thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, among other things, but the swagger thing was like a big, like they just love people like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that part. I think that element, especially with like young people, like that's something that's just not in a lot of movies.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that unite us all as human beings. We want to live vicariously through alpha male, you know, and the way that this alpha male does it,
makes it sexy.
It makes it fun. Maybe, you know, for 90 minutes you want to be that guy, you know, and sometimes you want to be, you know, Daniel Craig or you know, Gerard Butler. You know,
sometimes you just want to be a big old buff black man.
Exactly.
Hey, I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And congratulations on
Thank
everything.
You very much,
and I really did enjoy the film. I will keep talking about that movie until you get $50 million
okay.
personally for you.
Okay,
you
great.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.